Well, good morning, good morning, good morning. Yep, you caught me adjusting the cords everywhere. That's because I'm trying to mess my hair up with this headphones underneath this hat. Oh, wait, I don't have any hair. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to today's installment of Bathrobe Moments. And I'm your host, Loren Michaels Harris. And today is the third day of the month of June. And tomorrow's my mom, Lucille's birthday. Tomorrow. I'll talk about that tomorrow. Listen, what's going on in your neck of the woods? Have you guys? I'd like to know if you what's going on with the civil unrest and how things are progressing as far as keeping it here. You know what I mean? We're gonna have a show next week where we talk specifically and speak specifically to what we think that really represents and what we think we need to do to make it better. So we're going to let you know about that so you can chime in. We're streaming live as always this morning from Facebook, YouTube, Roku, Android, Amazon Fire, and Apple TV. Oh, can't forget our home base, E360 TV, out in sunny Arizona, Phoenix area. And tip of the hat this morning to my sponsor, which is symposium.us, a great app. If you head over to the App Store or Google apps, you can download Symposium and get over and start turning your conversation, your content into currency. That's right. How do I know? Because I'm currently their highest earner, and I've done it over 26 times. It's a great place to go to let people know what you know. If you can tell stories, if you can teach Pilates, if you can, help kids with their homework, get over there. There's a time now where a lot of us, it's a time now rather, where a lot of us need additional income. So head over to Symposium. I guarantee you won't be sorry. What you hear ringing in the background is not just an ordinary bell, by the way. For those of you who haven't been around, new to season 4 of Bathrobe Moments is this little doohickey. It is the bell of purpose. What it means is when you hear it ring, our guest has said something that we can say, can I get an amen up in here? Whatever it is. This is the morning version, and it's not the nighttime version after dark. So no Mr. Nasty time. Remember her? Remember that show? It's Mr. Nasty. I met her. She's really funny. Kim is her name. So what it means is, we all have an innate desire somewhere deep down inside of us, whether we acknowledge it or not, to be a part of something greater than ourselves. So hit the share button, invite some friends, start a watch party, put some comments and some love and some hearts up on the screen to let our guests know that we appreciate everything he's dropping off today. And today, get ready. I hope you brought a lot of tote bags because you're going to take home a lot of stuff with you, because today's guest is none other than John Q. I'm going to give you a little insight into what he's doing. Take a look.
All right, you got me. Just finished wrapping up the video for Some Gotta Give. New video, more serious, important. Got a lot of morals and values to it. Be on the lookout. There's 30 new projects coming out between now and the next 3 or 4 months for the beginning of the year. Throwback music from the 90s. So if y'all familiar with the 90s sound, you like that 90s sound, we're bringing it back. And just stay on the lookout. And I'm going to keep working. A lot of y'all want to know where I've been and what I've been doing. I've been low-key working and getting it in. So, if you want to know more about me, follow me on Twitter, follow me on Facebook, follow me on YouTube. Hell, you can follow me on MySpace, any one of them, or just Google my name, John Q.
Okay. Hold on. I don't get this off the screen. Yeah, I'm going to have to get at him using my line talking about Google my name. That's my line. You see what I'm saying? This pandemic and quarantine got people doing all kind of stuff. They know. See, if we was in real face to face, he wouldn't be using my line. I guarantee that. I'm just playing. I'm just playing. I'm what they call in when you locked up, they call that a cell warrior, because I'm talking shit because I know he can't reach through the screen. So anyway, that's John Q. If he looks familiar, no doubt, you may have seen him most recently in the movie that is just tearing up the airwaves. We watched it the other night. It was wonderful. On Netflix, you can catch it now all day and a night. He's been an American Fighter, Girl Boss, Ant-Man, Venom, and on television. My husband's one of his favorite shows because he's a therapist. 13 Reasons Why, and also Wives with Knives. And I think he got toe up in there. I think I'm gonna find out. So anyway, you guys get ready. We're gonna have a good time this morning. Call a friend right now. How come your limo came up the alley instead of the front of the place?
I don't know. I think it was you.
Is that a borrowed vehicle from one of the shows you've been? Is that a prop?
Yeah.
What are you eating?
That's all fake.
Right. Wait, oh, see, I know your type. Already, you got the squint eyes. That's how you be pulling them. So, where you from? You from around this way, girl? I can do it. Look. You got the squint eyes, and you got your San Fran gear on. Welcome to the show, John Q. How's it going? Thank you for getting up with the crack of dawn out there on the West Coast and showing up and getting ready to show out. Tell everybody who you are, where you're from, what you're doing, and let's start.
Well, my name is John Q. I'm originally from San Francisco. Born and raised. Grew up in the early 90s. Did music for a while. Did professional dance for a while. And went back to school. Got 2 college degrees and decided I wanted to try acting. And the rest is history.
I'm writing. I almost forgot. So we're going to come back to that professional dancing. Can you all out there in TV land say sexual chocolate? I'll just kidding. Not too far off. I don't want to get ahead of myself this morning. I'm so excited, seriously, for you to be here. We got a lot of ground to cover. First thing I want to know is catch us up on, tell us about the most current movie because it's out. How are things going? I hear I know because I watched it. I hear that it's a hit, and tell us how you feel about that.
It's my first debut movie. It's exciting, but again, it's that the stage, because we waited for a while for it to come out. It's been almost a year and a half, 2 years since they released it. So, yeah. So you're like, when you first get that break, you're like, okay, the movie probably be out in another 6, 7, 8 months. And they tell you these different dates and these times, and then it get quiet. And I guess with everything happening, with eras and so forth, I guess, they finally decide, okay, this is when they're going to release it. And then I also learned that, to hit the editing room, say so, it's done.
Oh, Lord.
So being that it hit the wave, once it hit the waves, it made me nervous because here it is, you're seeing yourself, and you're worried about what people are gonna think for a moment, and then you're like, okay, did I do good? Did I not do good? Because we didn't get to see, we didn't get the premiere. We got to see it at the same time everybody else seen it.
Right.
I stayed up to 11:59 the day before so I could see it. So I watched it, and in the middle of it, I stopped and rewind my parts a couple of times just so I can, see
I know
myself.
you did. I know you did. Who hasn't done that? Now, Stacy wants to know. I know, Stacy, you know what, girl, for real. I said the same thing when I watched that clip. I was like, MySpace? They still got MySpace? Do they really? Or is that an old clip?
Yeah, Justin Timberlake on MySpace. MySpace is really overseas now for music and stuff. It's more of a world-renowned site for music and everything. And I think a lot of people don't realize it's still here. It's just not as popular as it used to be.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
I just want to send a shout out to our mutual friend. Actually, the reason we're here today, Michael Toy. I know he was going to. He snuck in the side door because I had people perched up looking for him to let me know when he got here. But he came through the side. You sneaky, Michael. You sneaky.
Yeah.
See, that's why if you came to my house, I couldn't leave you alone. You're too sneaky.
Yeah.
And so isn't he a great guy?
Yeah, he's awesome, man.
Right.
It's because of him that I
can't get him on the show. He can do all those movies and commercials and television, but he won't do a live stream. He's scared to death.
Are you serious?
I've been asking him for over a year.
I'm gonna talk to him because of him. Because of him, I got the role.
I saw some of your clips when you.
Oh, right.
I know what that means when you say I'm gonna talk. Let me holler at you. Yeah, Michael. Right. So listen, how did you get started? And did you grow up privileged? Did you grow up? How'd you grow up and how'd you get started?
So I grew up in San Francisco in Hunters Point, the projects, and around 8 or 9, we moved to Sunnydale, another set of projects. So I grew up single mom, welfare, the standard society of what they call it, low income, and went through everything else that everybody go through, the tribe tribulation, selling drugs, trying to help my mom, trying to do my best at surviving with all the restrictions and all the limitations and all the chaos around me. And finally I got to a point where I realized from being in them streets that it was something else I should be doing for myself. I've always had some kind of talent, and I just, I didn't know what it was. So I went from breakdancing to trying to be a DJ, from trying to be a DJ to be a rapper, from trying to be a rapper to becoming a professional dancer, from becoming a professional dancer to going back to do music. Somewhere in that time frame, I got caught up in some mess that caused me to go to prison.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I did 2.5, 3 years of my life in prison.
Okay.
From there, I came home and I got off parole my first year. Went into music. I ran my own record company, my own music and everything. Did everything all myself. And it's kind of like it was God's way of telling me you're going to be an entrepreneur. Because again, I got tired of people telling me how to work. I worked in the corporate world. I've done, the standard work and everything like everybody else. Did hard labor and all that. And see, now that worked. But then I realized I can't have a boss over me. I can't have somebody tell me what to do. So I started to focus more on what I need to do for myself. So opening up the entertainment company, opening up the record company. And the one thing I learned while doing it was you can have a company, but if your company ain't really making the money, you really don't have a company.
No.
So long story short,
hobby.
Yeah. So long story short, I got enough music out, made a little bit of money, bought a few more pieces of property, got my mom and stuff well taken care of, got her out the ghetto, gave her everything she can have. My younger brothers, spoiled them to death. And then, I decided I wanted to go into the dance world. I did that for 13 years. Made a ton of money doing that, taking care of my kids and my kids. I mean, my mom and my brothers. And then after my mom passed,
you can go ahead and throw baby mamas in there. You wanted to.
No,
it almost slipped out.
I have one kid mother that's awesome. My 2 oldest kids survived, and then I have a younger daughter. That mom, we don't even want to talk about that. That's not that. But that's it. And
so you have 2 kids.
I have 3.
3 kids. Awesome. Yeah. Congratulations. Well, that is quite the resume.
Yeah.
Wow. And I didn't know that. And so when I said Cell Warrior, you knew just what I was talking about. Yeah. See, there it was. I waited for it because of delay. So look, I noticed, here's something really quickly. Very interesting. When I was doing the research, I noticed that your skills, when you're looking for work out there in the acting world, you tell them, of course, you tell them I do jujitsu, breakdance, and all the things because you never know. And you have on your list of skills handguns and horses. That sounds like a hit country song. Handguns and horses. Right. Handguns and horses. I'm telling you, watch. How much you want to bet in the next year we go hear somebody? We're gonna go visit them too. We're gonna holler.
We want our cut.
Right. How you gonna steal handguns and horses and not cut us in? Right. You're gonna need both of them in a minute. So listen, what has been your favorite show, commercial, movie that you've worked on, and why? Why was it? And I'm not saying the one that paid the most or whatever, but which one did you go, you know what, man, I would have done that for free. It was so much fun.
You know what? I don't know. The reason why is, okay, so my history as of this month, it makes 3.5 years I've been acting.
That's this long.
Yeah.
And look how, and you wait a minute. And before we forget, and in 3.5 years, really 2.5, tell people how many times you've worked.
130, now about 140 jobs.
That's crazy. Yeah. Thank you, Jesus. That's good stuff. That's good stuff.
Yeah, so, I don't know. I think, to be honest with you, let's put it like this. With the experience from day one till now, I would say the movie was me learning what I've learned. What I would have done for free.
Mm-hmm.
Because I pretty much paid for everything as I go along to learn it and deal with it. Because I never went to school for acting.
Right.
None of it. So I'm just naturally just doing it. So it was
so you're just naturally doing it. So you're just saying, but you might as well just say, I'm just naturally talented.
Hey, it's a blessing.
Go. It's time. It's the segment. I got a segment for you. There it is.
Okay.
Go.
Well, I mean, you got to think. You know what? Here's the funny thing, Loren. During this process, I've learned so much. Michael Toy being a good friend of mine, another guy named Matt Nelson, they always coach me on things to do. Like I was told, even when you're on time, you're late. So you need to be an hour early.
Oh.
So they scored me with that. Michael Toy always pushing me. That role, that's your role. Go get that role. That's your role. It fits you. When you got people like that push you, you kind of, you can't fight them. I fought them for a long time. Getting to know the PAs, the ADs, the assistants, the directors, that to me for me, and I don't know about most actors, because I don't have that experience that most actors have. I studied them to learn a lot about what I should and shouldn't do. Not so much how to be on the good side or the bad side, what I should and shouldn't do. And this movie was really the most exciting movie, I think, because Joe Robert Cole, he's really a nice guy and he has a lot of patience. That scene where, I get socked in the face by Ashton Sanders, that originally he was supposed to knock me out. But did his
mama tell him to do that?
I wish she did, but nah, she was on my side.
Okay, go ahead.
But Joe let me make suggestions along with the stuntman and everybody else that at 240 pounds, that 120-pound dude could knock me out. So the solution was,
it wouldn't have been realistic, right?
Right. So we all agreed that I hit my head on the car and knocked myself out. And that was the first time I ever had an opportunity to tell somebody or make a suggestion. So first movie, first opportunity, first everything, and end up doing my own stunts because they hired a stuntman, and I don't know what went on in that part of the parameter with them. But
I do, because when they called, I told them, I told y'all call me more than 24 hours in advance, and they come calling here. Can you be over here to be his John Q stuntman at 4:00? It was already 2:30. I was like, hell no. Call The Rock or somebody else. I ain't the only one out here. So anyway, that's how that went down. I'm glad we can clear that up.
I met The Rock too. Really nice guy.
So you met The Rock too, huh?
Yeah, I met him on Ballers.
Any more names you want to throw out while the shameless plug thing is on the screen? Go ahead, throw them out.
I'm just saying, when you mention certain names, I had a chance to meet just really nice guys. They actually are really nice guys.
Yeah. I had a dream 2 weeks ago of that I was having lunch with Gail and Oprah. Does that count?
Turn out?
That's as close as I am to celebrities. With you and Michael.
Huh? Hey, that's coming true. You know that. Could we bring you to the West Coast? So that ain't no question.
Don't say that too loud. We'll be the house will be up for sale by tomorrow. If somebody who hears that. So listen. Explain. Excuse me. Explain when we were. Bye, honey. Have a good day. I will. When we were talking pre-interview, you were talking industry jargon, and I thought it was pretty interesting. You were talking about the difference between this role that you just finished on Netflix in All Day and a Night. Is that what is that called? A feature role? What's the difference between when you were doing background?
Oh, background. You don't count. I mean, okay.
That's just those people walking down the sidewalk and stuff? Right.
Here's the thing. And this is my opinion, my vision. You can't have a movie without background talent.
No.
If it's just me and you and two other people, the movie can't be all us, just that all the way. So the talent of background is very important. I don't want people to think that doing background is not important. It's not a huge lot of money in it, but if you know how to make it a consistent program for yourself, you can make residuals up to 150,000 a year. Doing it. If you know what you're doing, that's the biggest difference. Is you have no lines. You don't get to be seen on the camera. You're not a principal. You don't get anything special. But you do get the opportunity to meet people and make connections and so forth. It's not often you get a chance to make those connections and get into the positions that I've just gotten.
Yeah.
That was the blessing and so forth. But I think they're very important. I really do think background is very important because without them, there's no movie.
Is that the same as being an extra?
Yeah, but extra and background, same thing.
Okay. Because see, I'm in Chicago.
Yeah.
And if it wasn't for Jussie Smollett's ass, I was trying to get them to write me into Empire because they shot that here as Lucius's crazy uncle and let me live upstairs because he had a crazy mama, so he might as well have had a crazy uncle too. And they wasn't hearing it. And then right when I was starting to get somewhere, Jesse gonna pull that shit. Oops, it's the morning edition. Sorry, I'm just kidding. But so what about this? What about rejection? Because for every yes, how many no's, how many princes, how many frogs do you have to kiss before you get to that princess that says you're hired? Average.
The funny thing is, growing up from the projects as a kid, mama saying no.
Got used to it.
People saying no. That's flame and fuel for me to be more successful. So when you say no to me, all that means is it's just not my time right now. I got to come back. Let me try this again. I'm going to replay this one more time. So every no I've gotten, I look at it and say, okay, I was not what they wanted at that moment. So the next go around, I'm going to be what they wanted. And that's one of the things I think people don't realize in Hollywood or in this industry at all. Rejection is the number one thing you're going to have to face. And you got to be strong enough to have tough skin. You got to have.
Oh,
yeah. I went to the Emmys and everything.
Okay. Okay. I'm just thinking. I couldn't come up with nothing. I was trying. I was reaching. I was digging. I was like, I can't say. I can't shoot it down. I can't pick at it. But nothing I can say about that one. I should. That's my own fault because I got to pick those pictures. So, but that's nice. So that was the Emmys.
Yeah.
Okay.
2017 or 18, one or two.
Oh, couldn't remember what year. I just go all the time, huh?
No, I just went one time.
You know what? And what are you eating?
Oh, I ate breakfast already, right? But since I don't drink coffee and it's hella early, I'm snacking on some Skittles.
Ew!
I need some.
Oh, that's pure sugar, pure. But
I need it. I'm about to go to the gym after this.
Okay.
I need the energy.
Yeah, and he's not. Don't worry, people. They haven't opened up gyms out there yet. He happens to know somebody, and he goes to a private gym. Yeah, I already was like, y'all open out there? Because we can't wait. I'm serious. Every day I get up and walk past a mirror, it automatically start playing the theme song to Neil Carter's show. Give me a break, because I shall need one. And I'm like, do it again. I don't care about 7 years. I'm going to bust your ass into a million pieces, mirror. Keep playing with me. So anyway, because I'm telling you what, I've been cooking and eating my way through quarantine. So now let's talk about that. So what have you been doing? What's it? I mean, all of a sudden you got a lot of time on your hands. What are you preparing for future work roles? Working out all day, every day? What are you doing? What have you been doing for the last few months during this lockdown?
So for me, I found out I was in doctor on the January of this year. Found I have a torn rotator cuff. Ooh. That's been torn for 15 years, 10 to 15 years. It's been torn that long and never knew it. Being a bodybuilder, I used to be really big from lifting weights and lifting so much heavy weight. I never felt the pain because the amount of weight, that's pain by itself. So we would ignore that. So now I got a trainer who's a good friend of mine named Chris Dims, who used to be a professional bodybuilder. He has a gym, and I'll go over and have him train me because he knows how to help heal this shoulder until I can go have surgery. And he's been whooping my behind, man, putting me in place. So with that, and my eating habits, he stays on me on my eating habits. So I'm able to lean down a little bit the way I want to, and then I can bulk back up. And if I choose to have a surgery in the next year or two, I can. But for the results I'm getting right now, it may not be worth me going to have a surgery because the muscle is healing so well. Right. It's just a tendon that's tore. So
that's a bad, man. I heard about that rotator cuff. It takes a long time for that to get back to normal. Yeah. I just had a knee replacement in January. I'm almost up to perfection. I have a little bit of swelling still in it, but that's to be expected. But yeah, I know it, and you make good use of things when you get them back the way they should be, and you appreciate them more. Yeah, so, I didn't John, would you ever take a role where they asked you, what did they say, like lose 50 pounds or gain like John Travolta did. Remember that movie where he was that angel? And Michael, and he got real big. His stomach was big. That was real.
Yeah, I know. You know, I don't know because I'm still so new to this world. It's a lot of shame in this world, of Hollywood, and there's a lot of perspective of good things, but I don't know.
What do you mean about shame? Talk about that. What do you mean?
When I say shame, it's like I met about 5 different people since I've been doing this that are really big names, and I just remember how we talked about faking it till you make it.
You mean 6, don't you?
Huh? Well,
don't make. Oh, the internet messing up. John, I'm sorry. I can't hear you. You're frozen.
I don't want to put you in this one. Trust me, you don't want to be in this one.
Okay, I'll back out.
But a lot of the people, not a lot, but the few people that I've met, picked me up. I went to their homes and everything, and you know, I'm a full-time believer that you do stuff with your money. You make some investments with your money. You don't bling bling and splurge and don't have nothing to show for it. So without saying any names, I was picked up at an airport in a Bentley and drove back to an apartment. Something wrong with that picture. You're making XYZ amount of money, but you live in an apartment.
Oh, the person I thought maybe it was a booty call apartment or something.
No.
They lived there, but they're driving a Bentley.
With 4 or 5 people driving a Bentley.
I got 8 cousins that live like that.
Well, I mean, I'm just the way I was taught. You buy your house and then you buy your car, and you know, you make some investments. And when I brought these people to me years ago, it was like, how you can afford this house and how could you afford this and that and this and so forth. I'm like, because I made investments with my finances. Right. I'm not driving Bentleys. I'm not driving Mercedes. I'm not driving BMWs. I drive a Honda Accord, a hybrid. And it's for me, when you come from where we come from, the projects and the ghetto, and you've had that stuff before, you find that doesn't make you money. It just makes you a certain way. Got it. You know, so I was disappointed with that. Or living in this mansion, this 15-bedroom mansion with 12 different people that the mansion don't belong to y'all. Y'all, all 12 of y'all live there renting it. Oh, you know, but that's everywhere. There are people, so many people, and I can't, you know what, Lord, I ain't saying her name, but I have a sister and she's out there. And all these years, that's the thing. It's a lot of people put things in front of what matters. You know, and that's, well, you know, to each his own. But you got it down. Let me ask you something. Your goals in this. So now that you've had this great momentum over the last few years, did it change? Did you change where it was, what you wanted to be when you grew up? So, I mean, like, I know you're doing investments and doing all these other things. Do you think you found that thing now that you're going to stick with, or might this be a springboard to other things? Maybe you want to end up behind the camera. What's your future look like to you? I think it's a springboard to other things as well, because like, I from what I've understand, the amount of work I've done and how fast things are happening for me, it's not the norm, you know, from what I'm understanding. But for me, I want to help people. I want to give people insight that if you believe in something you want to do, you can do it. I'm living proof, because I started doing background and extra work for the fun of it, just for the extra money on the side, something to do. I never wanted to be dream to be an actor. I dreamed to be a police officer or a fireman, you know, when I was a kid growing up. I didn't dream to be an actor, and something that just came natural. It's just something that I'm starting to stick with. And then when people in the industry walk up to you and tell you you are natural, or you got the look for it, or you this and that, and you start to wonder, like, wait a minute. You start to think, do I really, or did I miss this while I was growing up? Should I have started before? And then what I've come to believe is God has his time, space, that he feels that my purpose, like the peas you're talking about, that they line up, and they're starting to line up. You know, they're all just coming down like they're supposed to. Blessed and highly favored. Yeah. If I could speak in tongues, I'd say, should have had a Honda.
but I can't speak in tongues. I better quit that shit.
Oh, yeah.
Also, you hear about that dude on Facebook? That lightning struck or the weirdest thing. Right. No, I'm just playing, God. Forgive me. I want to ask you something. So now you're in there, you're doing what? Have you ever been in a position? Because, you know, we hear all these stories. I used to live in Hollywood, but I was a musician, so it was a little different for me.
Yeah.
But have you ever been in a position where your integrity could be compromised for a role where somebody said, you know, if you head up to old girl's house for me, you know, and she waiting on, you know, whatever, you know. And what about the fast life? You go to things, you see, is it like on TV where you see things laid out, little trays, and they doing lines and naked girls walking all through? Well, you a rapper too, so you probably see all that.
I haven't, since I've been doing the acting stuff, I haven't seen, my integrity hasn't came to that point. I did get an offer for a movie in LA. It was a pretty expensive movie. It was to play a gay man. And I told him I couldn't do it. And
how they gonna pick you? Well, I guess you could.
Well, no, what it was is, I explained to him that, you know, my integrity is, there's nothing against anything. It doesn't fit me. And it's not a role I would feel comfortable doing. And so I turned that down.
Me either.
And then you stop it. And then, I had a role to be a pedophile. I couldn't do that either because, you know, my
made me choke.
Yeah, I got daughters, you know, and all that stuff. So I don't want my kids looking back at me and saying,
right,
hey, you know.
I would never. That's a good point. Those are really great points. So thank you, Alexa. She telling me my Corona stuff, like stretch, get up, call a friend, time for lunch. She told me time to start my day. Girl, this day been started. So listen, you earlier, I got to change that. Did you know, John, that you and I have a mutual friend other than Michael?
No.
Pam.
Pam.
Yeah. She said you would do that you would act like you don't remember her.
Pam.
Yes, Pam.
I can't think.
Okay, well, we got to go to a commercial here. When we come back, she recorded a little something for you.
Okay.
Because she couldn't be here. But everybody, we're here with John Q, one of the stars of the movie that is currently playing on Netflix, All Day and the Night. And we're talking about everything from nuts to bolts here today. And we want you to stay where you're at. We'll be back in just a second. Okay, I'm back. I was doing something in the background. I had to get set up. So let me get John back here. Okay, John. Yeah, I just tried to. I was on the phone because she said call her. She might be able to break away and come on a live call, but I got the voicemail. So I'm gonna just show you. I can't believe, as nice as a girl as Pam is, that you don't remember her.
I meet so many people. I remember faces more than I remember names.
Okay. Well, here, let me get this thing that she sent. This is going to be a nice little reunion. Okay. If I can get it. Okay. Oh, okay. There we go. Come on, Pam.
Seems like your average real estate agent, right? But did you know Pam is in the top 1% of Pam sold your neighbor's house and has every five-star contractor in 10 miles on.
Okay, wait for
Pam
it.
grew up a block away and sits on your city council. Pam has sold 5
We watched
times
this
more
8
homes
times
than the
last
best
night.
agent
Wait a
you
minute.
know.
I got it down.
This is fast. Pam is a super
Okay, get it,
your
Pam.
agent right now on Home Life.
Look, I couldn't help it. I couldn't help it. Pam. She threw us like, damn, Pam. Damn. Okay, so you remember Pam now, don't you? Huh? So when was that? How far was that back at the beginning of your career? It was hard digging that one up.
That was like my first year. That was my first year.
And for those, I hope everybody noticed that the guy that was buying the home there with Pam was you. So you know, how many did you like have a watch party when that you know? And that's another. Do you have trouble watching yourself when something comes out?
No, I have trouble finding it because they don't like to tell you until the last minute. Like this movie was the only one that they notified me. Actually, I stayed in contact with the director, so he kept me up to date. But everything else, they want you to look for it, you know. And I guess once you because you're considered not that important, I guess. And I'm just saying, you're not that important to know yet. Matter of fact, I just had a guy reach out to me to do a barbecue commercial, and it's funny because I'm sitting there going to him like, you know, what level I'm on now and where I'm at. I have no problem with doing your commercial, but when he said the numbers, I was like, I don't do background. I don't.
So when you say the numbers, you mean the money?
Yeah, I was like, I don't do background. What you mean?
Right.
You know, he said, well, our budget, I don't care what your budget is.
So well, who wants to go backwards when you're trying to move forward?
Yeah, I'm like, my stocks is high, man.
Yeah,
you know?
right.
But I work with people, you know?
Well, and you never know. You know what I mean? They're going to keep trying. You can't blame them for trying as long as your name is on people's lips. That's a good thing out in Hollywood, especially. So what about this? The types of movies, let's take All Day and a Night, for instance. Do you feel that when it comes to roles that are available or roles that you go for that you hear about, like through Michael or anyone else, for a black man, do you feel that it's narrow? You know, like a certain kind of look, a certain kind of role, like a thug or this, because, you know, when you look at, for those who have seen it or those who will see, and I hope you all go and see it, it's on Netflix, All Day and a Night. At first glimpse, you think, oh, another Boys in the Hood kind of movie.
Yeah.
And you might wonder why in 2020 is that still relevant? So can you speak to that and why you chose to go ahead and do this role and these types of roles? Why is it still important to see the kind of movie like All Day and a Night?
I personally believe the roles is important because it's still part of today's world. Only difference has changed over the last decade or two is they have taken the projects and, as they call it, what do they call it? They call it regentrified. They regentrified the projects into supposed to be better facilities, but they're pushing people out of the projects. And in some ways there's good, but then it's bad because you're bringing in people that wasn't raised in that community, and that kind of taints growth. So it's good for kids and teenagers and people that grew up from there, remember where they started and where it can go, but also it helps you understand that when we go to bed and we wake up thinking about them gunshots, someone breaking into our house, someone robbing us, walking outside, seeing a dead body. That those things are things that are real. It's not fake. People don't want the truth. They want you to walk on pins and needles or pretend to be something fake. And it's real today. Drug dealers are, getting killed or killing somebody. The streets are not a game. It's real. And I think a lot of people also don't realize that a lot of these people grew up in these projects or in this ghetto mentality and format, and all they know is this. This is all they know, or this. So when they leave that to go somewhere else to defend themselves or to protect themselves, they're only going off of what they know. They're not going off what they were taught because that's what they already know from there. You can't take, as they used to say, you could take the boy out the ghetto, but you can't take the ghetto out the boy. That's kind of true because I still have my ghetto. My ghetto is still there.
Right.
It doesn't affect me until you put me in that situation.
Mm-hmm.
You put me in that situation, I know how to handle it. But in the regular society world, I can deal with all walks of life. So that movie is very important because there's nobody else making reality the truth. They're not.
Yeah. John, do you ever get people of color, your own people, that kind of catch an attitude or feeling some kind of way? Because why y'all? It's like what I'm thinking the actors of the 70s, the black actors and actresses of the 70s used to have to deal with when they were doing Foxy Brown and Get Christy Love on TV and all that kind of stuff. Because they're like, why are you always doing these exploitation roles? Blah blah blah. But they say it was still giving the black actor and actress a role, a face, a presence to the rest of the world. And I think that's how we got Halle Berry to the point of winning an Academy Award. That's how we got everything we have that involves actors of color. So how do you feel about that when your own people kind of judge what you're doing?
You know, here's my take on that. I think a lot of people should do what our mamas taught us. If you don't have nothing good to say, shut the hell up.
Keep your mouth shut.
Yeah, and it's a hard task. That's a hard task. So I know how hard it is because, you know, you see, and you're like, did I say that out loud? And you're like, I did. Damn.
Right.
But really, we should practice. If you don't have nothing good to say, don't say nothing at all. Because I'm guilty of it too, you know. But the criticizing of people, I think it's gonna be there, no matter black, white, purple, green, yellow, blue. It is what it is, and until people learn to shut up and mind their own business or get some business, it's gonna be a criticism. I mean, a movie is a movie. What a good friend of mine told me, and what I've learned is, when you watch a movie, watch it from the perspective of what not to do. If you watch it from that perspective, it's teaching you not to do that. Think about it.
Right.
You know,
right? Like in that show with you, Wise with Knives. I learned a whole bunch about what not to do if you want to stay alive. And then that one with that guy with the thing, knife coming out of. Oof. Anyway,
he got caught cheating on his woman.
Yeah, well,
and he took all her money.
Yeah, well, you know, there's a lot of that going around, but they sure were giving up some tips on there for the wives. John, what we see in movies and even on series, like a series on Netflix or HBO or any of those, is a lot different than it used to be as far as the ratings and things like that. R, PG, and all the rest of them. They got like 30 of them. How do you feel about nudity? And what would you ever be able to do? Because we just finished watching the series Power.
Oh, that's my movie.
Okay, but when they in bed on there, you better have a ceiling fan on. That's all I say. You better open a window, something, because right. So I mean, and I always think, good Lord, how do those people do that? You know, I mean, it looks so real.
It's angles, but you know, there's a commercial I did where I thought that the guy was actually going to be naked, and they put him in stockings, these kind of stockings that was they match his skin, but you can't really see. So in the commercial, he looked totally naked. As far as movies, have I done anything like that? Would I do it? Yeah, I do a new movie. But they're not going to show men. They show the woman. They exploit the woman, but they're not exploit
through
the
front. Now, oh, wait a minute now, because even Oz, way back in the 90s, Oz was showing all the cookies, all of it. So, but you know, but then when they throw them in the hole, and then when they throw them in the hole, they fall in there naked. Some of them, and I was telling Brian, my husband, was like, so he didn't want to do it. So, you know, they don't show this, they do show that. It's a choice I was seeing. But these things, when you're in a love scene, now, you're all on top and this and other. That would be, how do you, so have you talked, you have a significant other?
Yeah.
And do you guys ever talk about that? How do you think she would feel if you had to do one of those romantic naked skin on skin scenes?
I'm a smart man. I never asked.
Oh, you're going to wait and cross that bridge when you get to it?
Let the check cross the bridge. Okay,
that's right. Right. See, remember them shoes you said you wanted? This how we gonna get them. Okay, go on, baby, do your thing. Right, I get it. What about this? Do you ever, when you're contemplating about a role, or maybe you've already accepted the role and you're prepping for it, and you hear things in there, lines that are yours or lines that are around yours. Do you ever think, well, I can't let my kids watch this? Would you do a role that you wouldn't want your children to watch?
If it's a reality that's real and it has something that's teaching them, educating them, I would. If it's something that's just stupidity, stupid, nah. There's a movie we watched the other night. I'm glad we didn't go to the movie theater and see it when the movie theater was open.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't even think I would let my kids watch it. It was just dumb. So people, I think, just do movies. Well, that's just my opinion. That's not, right or wrong. It's just my opinion was dumb. It made money, but it didn't make sense.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't serve a purpose. I wish I would have known the purpose of what it was for.
Right.
For my kids.
I got to ask you this, because I just looked down on my notes and remembered I want to talk about a couple more things, and we're in the last 10 minutes. It flew by this hour. I told you it would. The rap thing, I listened, and that Glenn Ballard thing, there's my darling baby. That's right. You're really good.
Thank you.
Everybody, there's John Q YouTube, John Q TV, right?
Yeah, on YouTube.
On YouTube, if you go to John Q QUE TV on YouTube, you can look at all kinds of things. Listen to it. How have you had an album? What's going on?
Mm-hmm. So in 93 to 98, I had 2 albums that did almost 300,000 units.
Oh,
and I have 30 albums I'm releasing this year that's never been released. From 93
30 albums or 30 songs?
30 albums. 30 albums.
Boy.
Yeah. So I've done a lot of music back in my time and I didn't release it. It was just sitting there. So Darling Baby by the OJs. That song was done in 98.
Oh, okay. See,
that's how old it is. No one knows, but it sounds current.
It sure does.
Yeah.
I was like, I like this. This is my jam. I had it all. I was listening to it this morning.
Your guy from Chicago, DJ. What is his name? The DJ.
DJ Scrizzle.
No, one that does the skating ring. DJ.
I'm just kidding. I made that up. I don't know DJs. I'm old.
But
it sounded like one, didn't it? Scrizzle.
Yeah.
Right.
The guy that I can't think of his name, Rob. I think it's Rob. DJ Rob something. He does all the skate rings, so it plays at all the skate rings when they were skating. It was
okay,
and it's on his mixtape. If they go to johnq.com, they can get a free copy of it. All they gotta do is sign up, sign their email.
Oh, I need to put that up there then, because my followers, they love free stuff. Yeah. I taught them well. Okay, so we're gonna put that up on the screen. You said johnq.com.
Yep. And they put their email in, they get a free copy of it.
Oh, well, here, everybody, on the screen is where you go to get your own copy free.
Yeah. So they give me their email address, it downloads, they get an email every week or two of what I got going on, what I'm doing, and I always give away free stuff. I got a clothing line. Yeah.
Put your bridge cards away when it comes to John Q, y'all. You don't need none of that, right? Put your checkbooks away, put your cards away.
Yeah.
So, John, I don't know if you can see back behind me above that lamp, but yeah, that's an album cover. That's a CD hanging on the wall. Just letting you know. So you ain't the only one. You ain't the only one with a record. You ain't the only one with a record. I'm just saying. I had to say something. You sitting up here with your lead press on muscles. I know them things ain't real. Where you get your your steroids from? Where you be getting them from?
Oh man, I've been
going down. I'm serious.
I've been going down. I've been going down south to Mississippi getting it. It was
no, you ain't. They ain't even. They can't even say steroid down there. So no, but I know you hit the gym constantly because I've called you several times and you were there. And let's talk about that real quick. One of the things. So as an actor, you have to be cognizant of everything. Oh, got to make sure my teeth look good all the time. Yeah. Got to make sure I'm buttered up and everything. So because if you stay ready, you don't have to get ready.
Right.
So let me ask you, at this point in your career, have you ever considered, well, maybe I should go and I can do better if I maybe I'll get bigger roles if I go and get some coaching or go to these classes or do some improv. Do you ever think that there's other things you want to do, like television? What are your goals?
Couple things. When I was talking to some of the casting agents and regular agents, I was talking about going to school for acting. They told me, what for? They're like, you're a natural.
You're already doing
They
it.
want you raw. They want you raw. They don't want the actors that go to school. Like, I forget the names, but it's two types of acting. Denzel does one's called Miser. Will Smith does another.
Oh, methods?
No, it's called Miser. Miser. It's called
Right,
Miser.
like a method,
yeah.
style, or yeah.
So Will Smith does another one. These are things they taught in school back in different places. And when I looked at the styles of what they're talking about, these are natural things for me. So the best way for me to learn how to act was I used to go to the movie theater and I'll go by myself sometimes and I'll sit there and I'll watch the movie and I'll react what I'm seeing in the movie. And I'll find in my own mind, like, nah, he could have did that this way. And I start practicing. So with that being said and done, that's how I started to coach myself and do it. And secondly, as far as a lot of the agents, they were like, no, you just do it. They want you the way you are. Just go.
Right.
Because it's weird. And I'm like, I'm gonna go to school. I'm gonna go ahead and do a year worth for acting. And nope. I'll go best school.
Sometimes if you came into this world with it, and I believe we all did. I believe we all came with enough to get us at least through the front door of destiny, of our purpose in this world. And then if you want to enhance from there, you can. But I believe we come here because we beat the odds, 1 in 400 quadrillion. The greatest odds.
I will tell you this though. My first audition, it sucked. My first audition, it took them 5 minutes to kill me.
Oh, because you didn't know how to die?
No.
Oh, I've practiced that.
It was a mythology Greek. You know, you get stabbed with a sword and everything. I'm on the floor talking about why? No.
Oh, so they let you improv.
Yeah, they let me improv, but at the same time, the problem was it took me 5 minutes to die. I was like, get him out of here. Don't never invite him back to audition.
Right. So you learned from that, though.
Oh yeah, I went back home.
Just take a breath. Well, I almost said they were. Take a breath and just die.
Yeah, just die.
Last thing, and I waited last because I know that this is a sensitive topic for a lot of people, but I thought we at least should touch on it. It's a scab worth picking. Let's put it that way. Today, right now, all over the country, we are dealing with a lot of civil unrest. Now, you just finished this movie. It's out all day and a night. It has that element within it that a lot of people are having an issue with today about the color lines and the attitude of the police and the police mentality around the country, wherein it pertains to men of color, people of color. How do you feel about what's going on, how people are reacting with the protesting, the violence or nonviolence? What's your take on all this in a nutshell?
It's a touchy subject with a lot of variables. I'm not happy with the outcome, but again, this is my opinion. There needs to be a stand up, and we're standing up. But as far as the rioting and looting,
right,
I need the world to understand and know Black folks are not the only one rioting and looting. They're white people, Asian people, all involved, and they are the ones that's doing the most. If you look closely, you will see that it's white people and Asian people busting out the windows and doing everything and disappearing. You know, there's a I don't know if you're familiar, there's a wealthy man that has a part of the Congress that they hire people to come help do stuff, and it comes back on us. A lot of people don't realize that there's people they throw in there to make it look like it's all us, and it ain't us that's doing everything. Some of us are not violent as what they're making it look and seem like.
Well, we had it, you know, they came to our town night before last. A lot of kids from the city, Chicago down, because I'm in the burbs. They came and there was a mixture of Black and white. And do you know there was one stabbing, and it was a white kid who stabbed a Black kid who was trying to get the white kid to protest peacefully. Yeah. So the white kid stabbed the Black kid. He's in the hospital in serious condition.
What I need people to realize, we're not born racist. We're not born prejudiced. Black folks don't have it in our blood to be that way. We don't. You have to force that into us. And even forcing it is a lot, and it's hard to do because we're so forgiving. We get tired of people walking over us and misusing us and taking advantage. But at the end of the day, if you really was to see us become racist or prejudiced, I think America would be burnt down, because all the stuff that's been done to us is we the ones suffering.
Right.
You know? And I love all my brothers and sisters, every color. I don't judge. My best friend is white. And the thing about it is, we got to come to a civil ground. We got to come to a level where we can really be hand in hand on what we do and what we're doing. Because if we don't, it's gonna be, you got to pick a side, and your closest friends of other ethnicities gonna have to pick their side. And
Amen.
we don't want that. We don't want that.
Right.
We don't want that. And this younger generation, they shouldn't be doing what they're doing, and they shouldn't have to go through what they're going through. This stuff should have ended a long time ago. Our rights should all be equal. In the what is it? I forget which thing it is, but they don't consider African American or American, Black, even a human being.
Right.
Word is that our rights is not even allowed to be us, because or fits us, because we're not considered American.
Right.
And African American on us personally, that's our descendants, but we were born here.
Yep.
Our descendants built this country. They made
the hard way.
So you can't call us lazy. Welfare was designed to make us lazy.
Right. To fit a stereotype.
Right. So, you know, I mean, this can go on and on, but my opinion is that we got to come to a common ground. We need some love and healing.
That's what I've been hearing. And that's what I'm right there with you, my friend. I tell you that. Well, shoot, I'm glad that John is coming back, everyone, on Bathrobe Moments After Dark, so we can go a little deeper in this dive. And that's going to be, so mark your calendars, that will be June 24th on a Wednesday, just like today, but at night, 7 p.m., right here on Bathrobe Moments. We're going to have John back, and we're going to go a little deeper. Going to trade in Lucy McGillicuddy Ricardo for my my scotch. Yeah, that's my girl. That's my
walk that show like crazy.
Yeah, that's Lucy. Lucy's one of the icons that I admire and respect the most. She did a lot of things that people aren't aware of. Yeah. Did you know that Lucy invented the 3 camera technique of filming?
No.
Yeah, before she did that, it was like on the Honeymooners. 1 camera, come on, go off, come on, go off. And then Lucy, the red light on top of it, moving from here. Yeah, Lucy still holds the patent on that camera today.
Nice.
Yeah, Lucy. And every 12 seconds, an episode of I Love Lucy begins somewhere in the world. Every 12 seconds.
Yeah.
All these years, 50 some years since its inception. So she's something else. A lot of good stuff in her backstory. Wow. Listen, John, I'll see you again, if not before, on the 24th of June for your appearance on Bathrobe Moments After Dark. I'll be in my Billy D smoking jacket and with some Crown Royal or something in my glass, and we'll do this all over again. How's that sound?
Let's do it.
Awesome. Really quick, everybody, you saw the johnq.com on the screen. Get over and pick up your free copy of his music, and get over to Netflix and take a look at All Day and a Night. It's burning up the screens right now, and people are saying thumbs up all across the board, and I tend to agree. John, thank you. And anything coming up that we need to know about?
Yeah, there's 4 movies, but I'm on an NDA until we find out what the dates are.
Okay.
But
all right.
For having me, man.
All the time. What an honor. And get out there today and do what it is we do. Continue to be the blessing. And the only reason and the only way we can do that, everybody, is if at first you look in the mirror and you see the blessing. So get out and love up on everyone you can. Just all you have to do is make a deal with the universe, with what you believe to be greater than you. And the deal sounds like this. I, fill in the blank, solemnly swear and commit to every person in every situation that I'm encountering today to leave each one of those people in each one of those situations just a tad bit better than the way I found it. If you do that, I guarantee you we'll be living in a world unlike any they've ever seen before. So thank you all. Have a great day, and we'll see you back here tomorrow morning, God willing, 8 a.m. Central, for your next installment of Bathrobe Moments. Bye, John.
Bye.